Hey everyone, my name is James, and on today's vlog post, I wanted to take you behind the scenes and show you what goes into making a video, specifically a promotional video. And whenever I'm creating a video, whether it's for myself or whether it's a company that I've been contracted or hired to do work for, the same thought process applies. And I'll go into that in just a little bit, but I wanted to talk about one that I just did recently. It's the Holiday Sessions promotional video that's kind of playing behind me here. So, like I said, whenever I'm creating a video, there are certain things that I want to think about, and there are certain questions that I want to ask myself, and I always, I don't want to say drill, but I've got a whole multitude of questions that I ask companies that I'm working for when I'm creating video for them. Things such as, who is your target audience? What message are you trying to convey? What's the mood of your video? So these are all things that I think about when I'm creating my own. For instance, when I put together some wedding promotional videos, you'll notice that the tone and the sound in those videos are more, what's the word? They're more soft. They have a more of a soft mood to them. Again, I'm trying to convey a message about weddings. I'm trying to convey a message about wedding videography, and so there's a certain tone that I approach that video with. With the holiday video, obviously I want to showcase a lot of pictures that I've done in the past. I want to showcase my man Santa right here. And the tone of the video is obviously very upbeat, very jingly, very holiday sounding. And that's what I'm after. So these are things that I think about when I'm creating a video. It's things that you should think about when you want to create one for yourself. So having said all that, let's jump right into the timeline here on the editor that I use. And we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm inside my editor of choice here. Premiere is my editor that I love. Many of you have asked, James, we've seen you on a Mac. Do you go back and forth between Mac and Windows? And the answer is I do. I use Final Cut a lot, I use Premiere a lot, and I use Premiere primarily for all of my editing. And the reason being is I do a lot of my light editing on the MacBook. Not only in Premiere, I'm inside After Effects, I'm inside Cinema 4D, I'm inside some other modeling applications that I use. So when it's time to render those elements out, I will move them to the PC, into this tower that I've invested in, this beast of a machine I've got, and I will let it do all the hardcore rendering for me. I don't want to take the chance of blowing out my cooling fans or my fans that's cooling the CPU, anything like that inside the MacBook. So like I said, any heavy rendering gets moved to the PC here. As I mentioned before, a lot of YouTubers belong to or have affiliations with various sound libraries for music. I have an affiliation and accounts with various video libraries, and I've had one big one for probably over 10 years now, because I've been doing video a whole lot longer. So it's funny because as I watch the news, a lot of the transitional elements, especially in the weather forecast, all that rain stuff that comes across the screen and this and that, I own all those same effects as well. So a lot of the elements that you're seeing here, there are things that I could have created, but again, if it's already done for you, it just saves a whole lot of time and piecing things together. As I mentioned in the past, I gather all the elements that I wanted and put this video together probably in about maybe 5 or 10 minutes or so. So I've got transitional elements here. Another transitional element here. I think this guy is another snowball coming at you. And then I've got a kind of a frosty freeze type effect transition there. And again, just simple fade in, fade outs of pictures that I'm using to showcase all of this. Down here is my voiceover track. Actually, that's my soundtrack. This is my voiceover track. And, again, it's just based on how I want the video to flow. What I'm thinking about as I'm putting the video together. And then, so once I have everything, I just throw it in the timeline here, do a lot of fade in, fades out, fade outs, set up the transitions, and I'm good to go there. So I have a lot of fun putting this together. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it's kind of a real fast-paced video. I don't get into a whole lot of detail, but I at least wanted to cover some of the highlights and things that I think about, show you some of the elements that I'm using in the video. Of course, I've got the soundtrack that I use. I've got the voiceover that I use. I do a lot of voiceovers myself, but I've got to know a lot of people in this industry, and one gentleman in particular that I work with quite often. So he's kind of my go-to guy with a lot of my videos that I produce and put together. So I get a lot of voiceovers from him, I write out the script. Yeah, I kind of time it on my phone as if I'm doing it like a commercial style, almost kind of like he does, to get the correct timing. I'll send it off, I get it back from him, and then from there, so what usually happens with the video is I get all the elements together that I want to use. I create the script, I get the voiceover back, and then at that time I'm usually thinking about the tone of the video, what kind of sound do I want to put in as far as an audio track. So I zeroed in on what I wanted to use and got that together, put everything on the timeline, and like I said, I pieced it all together. So having said all of that, that gives me a chance to give you guys another plug on my holiday sessions. Just got a few weekends coming up here, and that's all I've got because I've got a crazy schedule, not only with things going on with me, but I want to balance that with family time. And with all that we've got going on, our family has grown. Some of you know about that, some of you don't, and I will talk about it later, I promise. But long story short, my wife and I foster, and we've got some additions to the family. Love them to death, love our family to death. Family is very important to me. And like I said, I'll talk more about that later. But anyway, some other things in the queue is I've got family sessions I'm working on. I've got some videos, one video for a company that I'm working on right now. I did a beach session last night with a family from Jersey, I think, if I remember correctly. Had a great time. Let me see if I can, we'll check the autofocus on the camera here. Let's see, maybe not. So that's the session, that's the picture from last night. Hopefully that's in focus. And then, of course, I love to pass out. Let's do this. Focus, 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 focus. Maybe. There we go. My business card there. Love to pass those out. Love to see people's reaction to that. You know, it's just something different I threw inside Photoshop and put together. So anyway, don't forget about holiday sessions. It's the first 2 weekends in December, if I remember correctly. That's all I've got left. And once they're gone, they're gone. And that's all I've got for today's vlog post for you guys. All right. It's Friday, woohoo! So you guys have a great weekend. My boys, my Steelers won last night. Beat the mess out of them Panthers, baby. Beat the mess out of them. Right here, baby, right here, woo! All right, I'll go out on a crazy fun note here. So anyway, having said that, you guys have a great week. Talk to you later.